Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Money with Alpha. Today, I'm very excited because I have Sujit Menon on the call here. Welcome, Sujit.
Hi, Alpha.
And we are going to be talking about a topic that this is as much for me as it is for listeners because I'm really interested to learn more about the crypto side of investing, which I haven't really gone into. So before we get into that though, because one of the other things that I get really passionate about for business owners in particular is this separation between your business and personal life and seeing what is producing the income in your business to then put it into your business and actually build and grow wealth. And in order to do that, you have to invest. And there's lots of different ways to do that. And I know there's a lot of talk about property. There's also a lot of talk about crypto, particularly Bitcoin. What does that actually mean? So we'll delve into that too. But before we do, tell us a little bit about you, Sujit, what your background is, a little bit about your business and what it does as well.
Yes, absolutely. So I was born in Kuwait, and then I lived there for 20 years, half my life there, and then moved here in 2005. So I did my engineering, Bachelor of Engineering, so computer engineering. So I was an engineer. I worked as an engineer for 2 years, and then I got my master's degree in banking and finance.
Mm,
So after that, I worked in banks. So pretty much from 2009 onwards, I was in the banking, and
hmm
2012, I've been a financial planner.
hmm
2012 to 2019, I was a financial planner.
Yeah.
So I come from a background of tech and then pretty much and been into finance, as well. So
Yeah.
got a big, dabbled across all investments or learned about it, because you did my master's, learn all the theory about finance,
Yeah.
but when you come step into the real world, it's kind of different, how
Yes.
finance, what they teach you and what is actually real. So I've
Yeah.
been good at tech before. So saying that when it comes to that, I knew about Bitcoin pretty much a month after the white paper was published.
Right.
Um, so it was very interesting. I found the concept very interesting, but I didn't know that it was something which will catch on because I know if it was catch on, it was like something which had potential. So I didn't get into it. So I didn't buy anything because there was no way to buy Bitcoin. With there was no exchange or anything like that. It was just a
hmm
concept I knew. So then 2012 or 10 again, when the price went up to from $10 to 100 is like, it got my interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I still didn't buy because there wasn't a way to buy it.
Mm.
But there was like, it
So
was
can I just
then
ask you a question? How does the price of something go up when there's no way to buy it? Does it just,
the price of anything is demand and supply.
yeah, but where's the demand if you can't buy it? Or was it industries
Oh,
and
it
was it,
was outside Australia, they used to
okay,
do peer to peer.
right.
Right? So peer to peer, there was a lot of peer to peer. So that's when remember the Bitcoin pizza story, right? Somebody exchanged 10,000 pizza for a pizza.
Right.
So there was like underground market, like people were just doing peer to peer and people were mining it. And then there was the Mount Gox, which came up as well. So people bought from Mount Gox as well.
hmm
So I saw that collapsing as well. So I saw the option of buying it, but I wasn't very keen on sending money overseas to a Japanese bank and
Yeah.
buying it as well. So I was, still watching it.
Yeah.
Then there was also the dark market, that's where the Silk
Mm.
Road, I
Yeah.
was dabbled in that too. And then I had a little bit left, and then that was when I had $10, it came to like $150. I was like, oh, okay.
hmm
I did buy it. I think my first Bitcoin, I think it was a small amount. I bought was 15 or $20 or something.
hmm
$20, and then it went to 150. And then again, it was something I dabbled, not something I invested kind of thing.
Yeah.
And 2013 is when we were 2014 or 13, mid 2013 is when you could buy Bitcoin with an Australian bank.
Right.
So 2014 is when I bought, a few $100, I think.
Yeah.
I think the big investment. So from $200, it I think the first time I bought in was 2014. So Bitcoin was $1,000. It
hmm
reached $1,000, and I bought for $1,500 or something, and I saw it crash all the way to $200.
Right.
From 1,500 to $200, it was the 80% crash.
Yeah.
Now big scheme of things doesn't look big.
Yeah.
So it went to 200, and then I bought a substantial amount. My first full Bitcoin I bought for $280.
Hmm.
I still have, which is good.
So yeah, so how do you actually like because it's is it a little bit like micro investing where you buy bits of
You can
shares?
buy for it's like share. No, shares you have to buy one share, right? Now
Unless you're
with
micro
Bit
investing, you can like pool it. You do
you,
pooled kind of investment.
you can buy 0.001 of a Bitcoin.
Okay.
So you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is divided in one Bitcoin is 1,000 1 million Satoshi. So that it's divided into six decimal points.
Hmm.
So you could even buy for $1 of Bitcoin, which is
Right. Okay.
possible. That's not possible now because the fees, because the dollar value has gone up so high, but
Yeah.
it's possible. So you can buy even $5 or $5 worth of Bitcoin even today,
Yeah.
right? So even though one Bitcoin was there, you could still buy small amounts. So I bought my first Bitcoin for $280.
Hmm.
That was my first Bitcoin. I don't plan to sell that ever because that's going to be, it's just there for show, I
It
guess.
has it's a marker.
But it's yeah, it's something to, show that because it's there on the ledger and, you can see that forever.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then I saw that and then started. So I was a financial planner then, and then I've been buying small amounts, $50 here, $100 there.
Hmm.
From there, I think from the $280, it started from 1,000, and
Yeah.
from 1,000, it went to 20,000.
Hmm.
From 20, so that's when I actually started accumulating, good amount, I guess. And then
Mm.
I kind of retired from financial planning from there. Retire in the sense I was like, okay, because once you actually understand Bitcoin, you
Mm.
understand, you come to a realization everything else is a scam.
Right.
Uh,
Okay. All right. That's a pretty big statement. Because
uh,
there's no you don't get dividends or anything. It's just holding the
it,
underlying Bitcoin.
It's yes, but you got to think what is money, right? It comes to
Mm.
you
Yeah.
start actually coming to the definition of what is money. Now
Yeah.
you come into the currency thing, especially with the taxes. How because I come from Kuwait where there's been no taxes.
Right.
So I grew up in that industry. So if somebody said you get paid $3,000, you get paid. That's how I've seen my family and everybody,
Hmm.
because everybody's in finance in my family.
Right.
So coming here, the tax concept, even I knew about it, it's
Yeah.
because that concept doesn't get me because when you make money, you have to pay tax. When you spend money, you have to make tax. When you invest money, you have to pay tax. When you take profit, you have to pay tax. So
Yeah.
there's no end to it. Like, I understand you need taxes to pay things, but
Yeah.
to what end?
Yes. Yeah. It just keeps going and going.
In the sense, so in the scam, that's why I was like, I'd rather have something which is, and everything is tracked. So I'd rather have something outside the system. So over time, I got into that rabbit hole, I guess,
Yeah.
and then because I was a financial planner, and then I got to that belief,
Hmm.
it became harder to actually advise on other investments,
Yeah.
and also you can't advise on Bitcoin either, because there's no money to be made by advising Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, well that's true. And it's
But
is it because it wasn't for a long time, well, crypto in general wasn't considered like a formal asset class by
yes,
the Australian investment. I don't is it still like that?
but it's still
Yeah.
a different definition is still. I'll come to the definition of Bitcoin, what it is, kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
End of the day, but it was the system, and what is Bitcoin? I would say is Bitcoin is energy.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
Bitcoin money is also energy,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Money is also energy. Now,
Yes.
Bitcoin is the purest form of energy. Now, what is Bitcoin? Now, money we see, what we transact, can be created out of thin air,
Hmm.
right? Tomorrow, a government or a bank decides we want to press, a button, money is
Hmm.
created.
Yeah.
Somebody puts money in the bank and bank lends it, money is created,
Yeah.
right? Now, Bitcoin is the purest form of energy. Now, Bitcoin cannot be created out of thin air,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Now say for example, to create one Bitcoin in today's terms, it takes at least you need investments in computers, and let's say in Australia, you need at least $80,000 worth of electricity to produce 80 to $100,000 worth of electricity to
Okay.
produce one Bitcoin,
Wow. Okay.
right? So it's not
Hmm.
something. So what gives it? Everybody asks me, how do you value Bitcoin, right?
Mm.
The value of Bitcoin is how much electricity it takes to generate a Bitcoin, and the
Hmm.
investment and the infrastructure to create that one Bitcoin,
Yeah. But that's not
right?
what Bitcoin costs though.
That's what Bitcoin costs. Now, what gives it value? That's
Yeah.
demand and supply,
Yeah.
right?
But you said
So
before you bought a Bitcoin for $280.
yes,
But
that's that time Bitcoin was cheaper to produce.
okay,
You could
all right.
you
So
could
why does the cost go up?
Why the cost goes up because now that's the beauty of Bitcoin too. Now the longer it stays, it gets harder to mine,
Okay.
right? So back in the day, you when it started, I think it was don't quote me on this, but I'm just giving you a number. You could
Hmm.
create 100 Bitcoins a day.
Okay.
Okay. Now there's something called halving. Every 4 years,
Yeah.
100 Bitcoins becomes 50 Bitcoins,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Every day, there's only 100 Bitcoins created, and that's distributed throughout the world.
Okay.
Okay,
All
or
right.
one block, one block kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying for easy purposes. So one
Yeah.
day, every one day, there's only 100 Bitcoins which could be generated,
Hmm.
right? After 4 years, it becomes only 50 Bitcoins can be generated,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
After the next 4 years, only 25.
Okay.
After that, now it's come to a point there's only 3.25 bitcoins created.
So there is a genuine limit to supply.
There's now the final limit is 21 million.
Hmm.
Okay, there's not one more, not one less.
Okay.
Okay. Now we've reached to a point of 20 million. So now the funny thing is the 21st million gets only generated in the year 2140.
Okay. All
Right?
right.
So when it started, it generated a lot of Bitcoin, and then over time, the number of
Diminishing.
the coins generated was less and less.
Okay.
All right.
So that,
Yeah.
sorry. No, you keep going.
Okay. So what gives it the value is
Yeah.
the scarcity. Now another thing is also the longer Bitcoin stays, the more secure the network is.
Hmm.
Now, if you look at the bank network, dollar network, there's always been something is always hacked. The
Hmm.
banks always go down. All right. So when it comes to Bitcoin, if you look at the history of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Bitcoin has been running since the start of 2009. It's been running 24/7, never been hacked. It's a mathematical formula, right?
Hmm.
It's always been running. Now, the longer it runs, the more secure the network is,
Hmm.
right? So the more time it takes, it's next to impossible to get it's to hack it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So initially, if it started, it was easy to hack kind of thing, but nobody was using it kind of thing. But the longer it runs, the more transactions.
Yeah.
That's why it's called blockchain, right? The more transactions a blockchain have, the more secure it is.
Okay.
All right, and that's why Bitcoin is good, unique because Bitcoin is the first mover,
Yeah.
right? Nobody can manipulate time. You can't
Mm.
start a Bitcoin and say it's stronger than Bitcoin because it's next to impossible because it has proven his thing.
Yeah.
So
So
Bitcoin is, yeah.
I was going to say, because you've got other things, not just Bitcoin. There's like Ethereum, there's
So
Dogecoin, there's all sorts of things.
there's a lot of altcoin now
Yeah.
with the concept of blockchain and cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
Now anybody can create crypto out of thin air. You can
Yeah.
create alpha coin tomorrow.
Right.
I think there was alpha coin already, but
Like,
anybody can create an alpha coin tomorrow. But
hmm.
it won't be as secure as Bitcoin because you need to keep running. So the network now Bitcoin runs. So every crypto runs a certain way of mining. So Bitcoin, Ethereum used to be mining, so you need electricity to produce Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Ethereum was like that too, but past 2022 they changed the way how Bitcoin is mined. So they did something called staking.
Okay.
So it's a different concept, but Bitcoin has been the same, right? Now
Yeah.
the thing with Bitcoin is the rules can't be changed because we don't know the founder. We all know this is Satoshi Nakamoto.
Hmm.
There's no there's no Bitcoin CEO, there's no Bitcoin headquarters, there's
Yeah.
no Bitcoin marketing company, there's no
Hmm.
Bitcoin customer support,
Yeah.
right? Now, when you compare to other Bitcoins, there's always a founder, there's always what do you committee,
Yeah.
So if they want to shut down a crypto, let's say Ethereum, you just have to kidnap the founder or kill the founder. That's it. That
Right.
can be done. Now,
Okay.
that's why it makes Bitcoin brilliant because the founder, he knew the risk of it and he stepped out because if he's part of the limelight, he gets
Hmm.
associated to it,
Yeah. Is at risk.
right? That's the risk. So he stepped out of it. There's nobody to support it, and it
Yeah.
works on a community thing. So that's one of the maybe drawbacks because the development of Bitcoin will be slower because there's
Hmm.
nobody to make a decision
Yeah.
to improve it. Now it works on a consensus basis. So that means for some change to happen, every Bitcoin holder should approve it. It's a voting system,
Okay.
right? So it's next to impossible to make everyone agree to
Yeah.
one thing, right?
Giant body corporate.
It's a giant body corporate which is decentralized, which is there's no one person who can make a decision or make anything, right?
Yeah. So
That's
nothing's
what
going to change.
nothing's going to change. So that's what makes the 21 million will stay 21 million, not one less or one more,
So do
right?
people buy and hold Bitcoin, or is it because I was just reading an article last night that was talking about how there's some education, like schools, I think it was in England, that are now allowing people to pay for the school fees with Bitcoin.
Yes, you can. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a strategy as well.
Mm.
That's one of the drawbacks of Bitcoin, I would say too, because there's a 21 million cap, right?
Yeah.
And what is the incentive of selling it?
Yeah.
There's no incentive of selling because I know it's going to go up forever.
Yeah.
All right. And that's one of the things. I have a lot of Bitcoin, but I don't want to sell it because I know it's going to go up because as long as money is being printed,
Yeah.
Bitcoin is going to go up.
Yeah. But you also
Right.
don't earn anything on that money. It just sits there.
It fits there, but inflation kind of covers it already,
Yeah.
right? So it's like gold, right? Gold,
Yeah.
the thing is you can create more of gold,
Yeah.
right? So tomorrow, there's some technology, somebody asteroid mining or somebody finds a new mine, there can be more gold created. Now, Bitcoin,
That's it.
there's no, yes, but there's no, what do you call it, dividend or anything like that, but
Mm.
it's a finite amount.
Yeah.
Right? And we all know money is going to be printed forever. They're not going to stop printing money.
Yeah. So
Right?
the value of it is just purely demand driven because
The
supply is
value of
limited.
it is the cost price. All right.
Yeah.
The cost of making it, let's
Mm.
say the cost of making in Australian dollars is $120,000.
Yeah.
Right? If it goes below $120,000, that means the people who mine Bitcoin are at a loss.
Yeah.
So if they're at a loss, why would they sell Bitcoin? They would rather
Yeah.
hold it because they know that it's going to go up
Gonna go
because
up
it's
again.
limited. Right? So anything over, let's say the price of Bitcoin is 120, anything over 120 is speculation,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So if you want to know what's the price, so now it's like 120, 115 Australian dollars. So that's the price. But it also, the electricity prices is different in every prices too. So if you
Hmm.
go to Iran or India or something, you could create one Bitcoin in $50,000.
So who's creating it?
The miners, so the
Okay.
computers. So
Okay.
Bitcoin works on it's an algorithm, right? So when it solves an algorithm, when it solves a puzzle,
Yeah.
whoever solves the puzzle gets rewarded a Bitcoin.
Right. So are there people actively trying to solve it, or do they have they
The
built
computers are
bots?
actively, it's continuously actively trying to
Yeah.
solve, right?
Okay.
So the
And it's
more
humans solving it, not
no
machines?
machines,
Machines are
machines are
solving it. Okay.
machines can. I mean, before we could mine it with a normal laptop when it started,
Yeah.
right? And then you needed graphics cards to mine at Bitcoin. Now
Yeah.
you need special high-end computers to
Equipment.
actually mine it. Because the more it runs, the more secure it becomes, the more harder so as time goes by, the puzzle gets harder and harder to solve.
So is there a tipping point at which people have just missed the boat and there's no point in trying to buy Bitcoin anymore? Or will there
No,
always be even
it-
once it's reached that 21 million,
so
there'll still be demand?
21 million. So the concept why he did it, 21 million reaches at the year 2140.
Yeah.
Right? So they believe for it to work, so they won't be mining, but for transactions to happen. So even the computer, so for me to send one Bitcoin to you, or when we send, there's a
Mm.
network fees,
Hmm.
right? There's a fee which gets paid to the miner. So whoever
Okay.
is running the computer, whoever solves the puzzle, and somebody does a transaction, the miner gets a fee for the transaction.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So when it comes to that big, what they expect is at 20 or 40, Bitcoin will be so popular that everybody will be using so many transactions,
Hmm.
the miners will get paid by the network fees.
Okay. But the miners won't be mining anymore because they'll be all
The mining will be used for transactions,
just the transactions. Okay.
not for creating new Bitcoins.
Yeah. So how do you buy it then at the moment? Because how do you know who's mining it and where to buy it
The,
from?
what the miners do is, so once they mine it, once they have Bitcoin, they sell it to exchanges or sell it,
Okay.
exchanges are like banks. So there's a lot of this in Australia. So there's 10 exchanges where you can buy it directly. There's
Okay.
like SwiftX, CoinSpot, CoinJar. There's like 10 different
Yeah.
company exchanges, like a share exchange, right? You go to an exchange, you can buy
Yeah.
cryptocurrencies kind of thing.
And
So
they're all legitimate?
they're all legitimate. Yes,
Yeah.
they're all legitimate.
Okay.
That's why you can have SMSF in crypto.
Yeah.
They're all going through that AFSL and they've got all legitimate.
Yeah.
sister. So the miners create the Bitcoin
Yeah.
and they sell it to the exchanges, and the
Hmm.
exchanges give it to regular people. Now, if you want to mine your own Bitcoin, you can buy a machine at home and mine too. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You don't need
Mm.
any permission, or you don't need any, there's no regulation for it. It's just a matter of buying a computer,
Yeah.
plug it in, and turn it on. You can start mining Bitcoin.
Yeah. Probably a little bit more to it than that because I wouldn't even know where to
No,
start.
no,
But
there's no more to that. It's as
yeah.
simple as that.
Okay.
Right?
But
You buy that
it's got to be
machine.
some like algorithmy thing that you go,
No,
mine Bitcoin.
yeah. So when you buy that machine, it's all
Yeah.
set up already. So
Oh, okay. So they're specific machines for
there's
mining
specific
Bitcoin.
machines. So it's come
Gotcha.
to that page where, so when you used to do GPU, you need to have the software to run it, and that's a
Yeah.
bit technical. But once it's run, that's it.
Yeah.
Anybody can learn it by watching a YouTube video. It's not
Yeah.
that hard if you know a bit of computer. But it's that easy. So
Yeah.
if you want to mine crypto, or let's say Bitcoin, it's
Yeah.
just buying that computer and turn it on. So you don't need any license. You don't need any regulation.
Yeah.
And and when you are actually mining, it's actually good for the network. You're actually
Mhm.
supporting the network.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
more miners there are, the more decentralized it is,
Hmm.
right? So because if there's only less machines mining,
Mm.
that means somebody's
Yeah.
controlling the whole thing,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Then we
right?
go back to the same
Yeah,
system we're in now.
then becomes centralized kind of thing, and
Yeah.
that's the beauty of Bitcoin. So the more price goes up, the more miners get in, the
Yeah.
more it gets spread out, and harder it becomes to hack, or
Yeah.
But when it's a new crypto, somebody
Yeah.
starts a new machine, he can just hog everything and control everything kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
So
that's yeah.
yeah. So at the moment, what's the cheapest that people could get into buying crypto? Because you said it was, my math isn't that great. Well, I
Bitcoin
can't
is
do
now
like six
110,000 US dollars.
to buy one, like to buy
One
points.
Bitcoin is 110,000 US dollars,
Yeah.
but you can buy $10 worth of Bitcoin.
$10. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
five. Oh, yeah. I think exchanges allow $2 or $3 up to also. I think the fees
Right.
is like 0.4%, but you can buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is possible. So you can even buy point 0.00001 Bitcoin,
Right. Yep. Yep.
right? So
Yeah. So just
six.
divide that 120,000 by six to get to the amount sort of thing.
Yeah, correct. So you can buy for pretty much for even cents. If somebody's willing to give you 10 cents of Bitcoin, you can get that too.
Oh, okay. Right.
So
That's me.
exchanges don't do that because it's not cost effective, because there's still the network fees
Yeah.
you have to cover, right?
Yeah. For each
But you
transaction.
can buy. There are people who buy. You can do the dollar cost averaging of $10 a week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because that's one of the things too. It's like getting in it, and if because there was always this idea that like with shares, you have to buy one. It's like trying to buy
Yeah,
Berkshire Hathaway. Who's going
yeah,
to spend $1 million on a
correct,
share of Berkshire Hathaway? No one.
correct,
Well, industry funds and
correct.
the bigger groups like that. But
Yes.
as an individual, it's
You got to get an ETF which buys that, and then you buy a part of it or something like
yes,
that.
that's it.
But
Yeah,
that's the beauty of crypto. You can buy part of it. You don't have to buy one of it. And that's
yeah,
how it was. And that's why the guy who made it was it's
yeah.
brilliant.
Brilliant.
In
Yeah.
the sense he didn't invent the concept of Bitcoin himself, but what
Mm-hmm.
he took is he took different mathematical concepts and
Mm-hmm.
combined into one. So what was already existing,
Yeah.
so they say, so even Bitcoin, how it's mined, actually the concept was published by the CIA. All right. So it's like the internet. The internet was but it was
Yeah.
published by, it was
It was a
created by
government
the
agency
government.
originally. Yeah.
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 So Bitcoin is mined on the algorithm called SHA-2456,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a foolproof, can't be hacked kind of thing. And
Yeah.
that was a concept which was generated by the CIA. It was a public thing.
Yeah.
So he took different concepts and made into one system, which a money system,
Yeah.
which is fair, and which can't be broken kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
So,
So
but the other cryptos, like the Ethereums and whatever, they operate differently because they've
they
got like
operate
a,
differently, right?
yeah,
How many coins are generated, the rules. So that's why when you buy crypto, you have to look at different,
yeah,
the thing. So it's not the same, how Bitcoin and Ethereum will be different because the number of coins are different. Who owns
hmm
it is different. How is it
hmm
created is different.
yeah,
You have to do all that research
yeah,
before you get into crypto. And that's why I would say Bitcoin is the safest and the strongest, because it's nothing like it. There
yeah,
are a few other coins which does it,
yeah,
but Bitcoin has been there the longest because it will be the most secure network. It's the
yeah,
most adopted, and every other crypto. So I would say usually is if you buy other crypto, you got to look at. I buy other crypto to make more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right? So the other instead of thinking I buy other crypto to make more dollars, you think of I buy other crypto to make more Bitcoin. Now, if you buy
Okay.
other Bitcoin and if you're down in Bitcoin, that
Yeah.
means you're actually making a loss. Some people, oh, I made a lot of dollars in, but you're better off holding Bitcoin because Bitcoin has actually done
Yeah.
better than everybody else.
And so does it
And if you
like
look
if
at it,
somebody's looking at a portfolio and they have, they have a property, they've got some shares, they may have some gold, whatever if they're trying to look at it collectively,
yeah,
can they put a dollar figure to the Bitcoin at, like, say for instance, I do a quarterly performance report for my stuff.
yeah.
So would I convert the Bitcoin to dollars to add that so that I can kind of compare it to everything else that I've got? Because otherwise, if I'm comparing dollars to Bitcoin, it's like apples and
So
oranges.
correct. Now, correct. Agreed. So that's where you have to understand what is your concept of money. My concept of money is Bitcoin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when I buy something, I say
Okay.
how much Bitcoin it takes to buy this.
Yeah.
So I price everything in Bitcoin. Now you look at the
Okay.
price of houses, right? In 2013, I could buy a house. It took me 20 Bitcoins to buy a house. Now
Mm-hmm.
it takes, yeah, now it takes less than a Bitcoin to buy a house. Or not less, it takes 5 Bitcoins to buy a house.
Right.
In 2014, I think it's 40 Bitcoins to buy a house. Now it's
Hmm.
only 1 Bitcoin to buy a house,
Right.
right? So
Okay.
everybody has a different concept of money, right?
Yeah.
So
Can you actually buy a house with Bitcoin though?
if people accept it, yes,
Yeah, if they accept it.
right?
Yeah.
If people accept it, why not? So
Yeah.
Australia, there
Well,
are some people.
yeah, it's the same as when I started to like get, because I'm interested in like what is money. And
Yeah,
so when I started to go back into history, it had started out as things like shells,
yeah,
spices,
correct,
until it actually became the form of like current like gold or silver, and now it's like numbers on a screen. So
correct.
it's one of those things. You're right. It kind of almost become whatever we want, but as long as somebody's willing to accept it.
Yes.
But it has to have like more mass acceptance for that to happen. And I think
The best
was it Bolivia was one of the first countries to like legally accept Bitcoin as a
El
currency?
Salvador, El Salvador.
Salvador. There we are.
El
Yeah.
Salvador. They made it official. But here's the thing: when I value portfolio, right?
Mm.
So the thing with Bitcoin, it's hard to measure assets in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is very volatile, right? It changes, the money changes. The best way for, let's say for yourself, for your clients, is to value a portfolio in gold.
Mm-hmm.
Gold is the best indicator of measuring your assets, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at, again, I don't remember the numbers off top of my head. If you look at 1970, houses are, I can tell you this. In 1920, it took 1 ounce of gold to buy a premium suit.
Mm-hmm.
Today, to buy a premium suit, it still costs 1 ounce of gold.
Right. Yeah. The gold price has just gone up, or the value of
But,
it.
but, but has it? Has it really? That's the thing.
The perception of it has gone up.
No. So dollar price, what's happened? Gold hasn't gone up. The price
No.
of dollar has gone down,
Yes. True.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that's what you do. So when
Because
you
we're
look at house
comparing it.
prices,
Yeah.
you're comparing. That's where you
And
compare.
even to like Aussie dollars. If you compare it to US dollars, that's different again.
Different
So
again.
whereas the
So,
gold is still the
but
gold.
gold is
Yeah.
still good. And if you look at Aussie dollars, it's still gone down. US dollars is still gone down, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at houses in 2008, it probably took 1 kilo, or I think it took 5 kilos of gold to buy a house.
Mm.
Today it's 4 kilos of gold. So you got to measure how much
Yeah.
gold it took to buy a house back then and how much gold it took to buy a house back then, today.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if you think gold has gone up substantially, no, it hasn't. Gold is still the same
Yeah.
because the price of everything has gone up double or triple,
Mm.
right? And the gold is just catching up to the reality of life,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So if you
Yeah.
look at a thing, so when you measure, sometimes it goes up and down because demand and supply of houses again,
Yeah.
right? But you
Yeah.
always, I measure house prices in gold, how much
Hmm.
gold or silver it took to buy a house
Yeah.
back when, for our parents, and how much it took for today.
But if
And
you're going
today,
to a real estate agent to buy a house, they're going to
yeah.
measure it differently.
But that's perception. Money is, again, it's
Yeah.
a concept what people have, right? So,
Yeah.
and if you look at currencies, no currency has lasted more than 70 years,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
Every currency after 70, 80 years has gone to zero. Paper currencies,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So what is money? What is the only form of money which has survived the test of time?
Yeah.
Gold and silver,
Yeah.
right? Everything else is just temporary,
Yeah.
right? It just takes 2 or 3 generations that money just changes the definition of that money changes.
Yeah.
So. you when you do your research to see if house price is overvalued or not, compare the house prices in gold,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's when you know it's undervalued or overvalued, even the
Yeah.
share portfolio, right?
Yeah.
So check the share. If I bought gold in this today compared to, shares have done really well. Like, I think they consistently done well. But again, if you compare to gold, I think sometimes gold will do better than
Yeah.
share, or, because it's just keeping up with inflation and keeping up the value of stuff is always consistent with gold.
Yeah. But it's an interesting thing because it's a real like mindset shift in
Yes.
what is money. But so on the one hand, all of that, I can understand that, it does make sense. But we still live in this world where the construct of money is controlled centrally. We have, dollars, we go to the supermarket and we pay with, like tapping and whatever, but it's still a dollar value behind it.
Yeah.
So it's,
But here's a way, think of it this way. Let me put it this way. I'll give you a statement. Gold is God's money.
hmm
Bitcoin is people's money.
hmm
A dollar is slaves' money.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Oh no. And that all makes, yeah.
Because it works on debt. Dollar
Yeah.
is debt. It's
Yeah.
not money, it's debt.
Yeah.
Okay? Gold is created by God, that is money.
Yeah.
Okay? Bitcoin was created by a person because that's people's money. It's
Yeah.
decentralized. Dollar, what we see, is somebody else's debt.
Yeah.
Okay, the money you hold is money owed to somebody else.
Yes. Yeah. It's it's
But
it's it's
it's
borrowed from a
iconic.
bank or somewhere.
Correct. We've been brainwashed to think money is actually money because it's not. It's actually
And yeah.
just devalues.
And this is why the mindset around money is so like we're so messed up because if self-worth is linked to the money in the bank that we have, it's like that's such the wrong measure.
We've been
Because
brainwashed. That's what we've been taught in school, right? So
yeah,
I was the same too. But when you start getting to the rabbit hole, and then that's when coming back to my story, right?
yeah,
When I came into this is when I decided, it was hard for me to continue with financial because I want to start my own practice and stuff, but
yeah,
legislation and stuff wasn't good. So I quit my financial planning in 2018,
yeah,
and then I moved to I traveled for a year or so, and then moved to 2019. I
yeah.
moved to Brisbane.
hmm
And then I started my own business. So I wanted to start. I started like a crypto business thing. What I did is, the mining machines. I actually used to build and sell those machines.
I was actually curious. So when you talked about the machines, I was like, do you have a machine? Have you been
I did.
mining crypto?
I did mine crypto. I mined crypto,
Yeah.
not Bitcoin. Bitcoin was far out of reach because you need specialized machine. But I was mining Ethereum. So I used
Okay.
to build those computer graphics machines.
Yeah.
And I did that for 2.5 years because I knew there was an opportunity there.
Yeah.
And I did that, did well, I think, for that. And then I sold that business. 2022 is when I decided because Ethereum moved from mining to proof of stake. They changed the way it
hmm
was created.
Yeah.
So, and then I got into consulting, crypto consulting. So I still have clients I look after with their crypto portfolios,
Yeah.
teach them and all this. So I did that for 2022. And while I was doing this, when I got stumbled into the CRM, so I built for my business, I built a CRM system for myself,
hmm
and then it came to, oh, actually, I could actually offer this to other business owners and build this because I was good at tech side too. So I built a CRM system, and I found Go High Level, and
Yeah.
then I was like, oh, actually, I could actually help other business and make a living out of this because I knew
Mm.
crypto. The thing with crypto is it goes up, it goes in cycles, right?
Yeah.
So you make your money and then you have to wait 3-4 years before the
hmm
next cycle comes. So I
Right.
was like, what am I going to do in between?
Yeah.
And I needed something, a cash flow business which is consistent.
Yes.
I can't just make relationships and then stay quiet for 3-4 years and then come out of the work.
Yeah.
And the perception of society is still, they think crypto is a scam, and and to be fair too, like because there are a lot of cowboys out there, which
Mm.
which can give a bad name too. So
Yeah.
and I didn't want to be in the spotlight because I know in the future if you are known in society that you have a lot of Bitcoin, you can be a target very easily.
Mm.
So that's when I met in the CRM business. Now, since 2022, for 3 years, I've been in CRM, and here I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
That's your first question here. How
Oh
did I
yeah.
get into
And
crypto?
yeah, we died because there was so many questions I had about this because when I first met you, that didn't come up at all. It was all about your CRM system and
Right.
setting that up, and then little by little, as I've got to know you better, I was like, oh, there's a whole nother layer to this. I need to
Yes.
explore this a bit more because I'm crypto curious. Let's put it that way,
Yes.
mainly because it's something that I don't understand, and I don't like not understanding things.
Yeah. Yes. No,
And
no.
there's so much that's going on in the world that yeah, there's a real shift. I
Yes.
feel like over the last few years, the collective energy of the world is shifting.
It will, because now here I'll tell you why it has not caught on. Now, 80% of the money is held by boomers, right?
Yeah.
Now
Okay.
they are all invested over there. Now, my generation and above, we all know Bitcoin back of mind, it is the thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, the shift, what is happening now, it's the
Mm.
time for boomers to leave this planet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
we're
starting.
giving it, we're having this generational shift
Mm.
where the boomers are, and by 2030, 90% of the boomers are pretty much done.
Yeah.
They're off this planet.
Yeah.
Now, that's when that big shift is going, I see that big shift is going to happen,
Yeah.
because that wealth is going to be passed on to my generation. What do you think we are going to do? We're not going to be buying houses. We've seen everything, the work it takes to all those things. I'd rather
Yeah.
have Bitcoin than have houses. I want a
Yeah.
house to live, yes,
Yeah.
but because the way things are going, the government takes a cut. There's
Mm.
so much tax to pay. You see
Yeah.
all this,
Well, we
but
want people to have the money to buy, like because I thought about as well, like in terms of investment property. And while that system has made sense perhaps in the past, I was like, if the more houses I have, the less somebody else can have. And I want everyone to be able to have their own home.
yeah, and it's a landlord mindset, and then and the price goes up. So yes, prices are going up now, but the opposite can happen too. So imagine, I mean, if two or three people in an area, foreclosed kind of house didn't pay their mortgage,
Mm.
immediately the rest of the houses are going to drop as well, right? The
Yeah.
prices are going up because your neighbor is selling at a higher price, and the neighbors say, "Oh, his price of house is worth $1 million. My worth should be 1.2."
Yeah.
But the opposite can be happen too. So it's like a house of cards. So
Yeah.
tomorrow, if in a suburb, five houses they decide they can't pay the loan, every other house prices are going to drop. House
Yeah.
prices of houses are also the same, demand and supply,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It'll be quick as well. But the next generation are not going to hold on to houses. I know that because
No.
we're all digital. It's going to be digital real estate. Having a website in digital real estate is worth
Mm.
more than a house. There's no maintenance. You don't have to do all that. That we know
Don't
that,
have
but
capital
still,
gains tax on it.
all that tax. So the thing is, our generation, we don't have the wealth. We don't have the money in our hand. All the wealth is the boomer. So that shift
Yeah.
is going to happen in the next 5 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So
No, it's
we're still early. We're still early.
yeah.
Nobody knows about Bitcoin yet.
No. I mean it's interesting. I mean we talk about financial literacy in general and that's not happening. So not
No.
only are we not learning financial literacy, we're also not learning about this.
Yes.
So it's an important message to share too because when wealth there is a wealth transfer, you're right, that's happening and it started to happen. It's then a matter of, well, the old constructs
Yeah.
aren't really supporting that our generation. So we've got to look at other things, and this is
we,
where
we,
it's
we are very
important to
digital,
understand.
right? Our generation, we are very, we are very comfortable with buying things online, and
Yeah,
it's just the older, the people who have money, they are old school. They are not old, so when that moves into this, and money is
yeah,
already getting digital already anyway.
yes,
So would you rather have digital dollars, or would you have something which is outside the government system?
yeah,
It's only a matter of time.
yeah, yeah. No, it's a fascinating concept, actually. Yeah. So no, I am. So if people wanted to know more, do you take on clients still in this space?
I do help people if they do, if
Yeah,
they want to ask questions. So, I do take it as a financial approach kind of thing, but,
yeah,
I'm more of a conservative when it comes to crypto. I teach them to trade, but I never tell people what to invest on.
no, no, just
But
teaching them.
I'll still say Bitcoin, I will still say keep everything in Bitcoin, but nobody listens to me when I say that. Everybody, somehow they like the next shiny thing, no
Yeah,
matter
no,
what
see,
we say.
I'm a slower, not a slow job, but I'm yeah, I'm all like you.
No.
I'm like, I'll go for
Even
what's
even if I
so
strictly say don't buy anything other than crypto, other than Bitcoin, 5 months later, 6 months later, I say they end up with no Bitcoin and they buy other coins. It's just people's, they just like to go for the next shiny thing,
yeah, something
they
else
think
that's yeah,
the gambling mindset, they just want to make quick money kind of thing.
yeah, Yeah.
but
No, no.
you just have to hold on. And like I said, if you had Bitcoin, I remember saying this to you. Anybody, if you look at the past 15 years, anybody who's held Bitcoin for 3 years, minimum 3 years, has
Hmm.
never lost money, never lost in dollar value.
Yeah.
The thing is, no, majority of them don't have the patience to hold it for at least 3 years. They can hold
Yeah.
houses for so long because it's hard to sell.
Yeah.
The thing is, because crypto is very liquid and easy to buy and sell,
Mm.
99% of them don't have the patience to hold it for that long. And
Yeah.
anybody who's held it for 3 years,
Yeah.
at any point of time, you buy any point of time, you
Yeah.
held that Bitcoin for 3 years, it has never lost money. You
Yeah.
can't say that for the crypto because 90% of the coins which existed has never lasted more than 5 years,
Right. Okay.
right?
So what causes some of those coins to disappear?
Because it's all a scam, because there's always a founder, they run away with it, the people lose trust in it, there's no community,
Yeah.
it doesn't, it's not secure,
Yeah.
or somebody comes and scams, or it's something always, because
It's
crypto is
human
not,
driven.
yes, crypto is not a scam, but the people
Mm.
who use it is a scam, right? It's the human
Hmm.
element which is, so Bitcoin is very mathematically secure, it can't be broken, right? But it's
Yeah.
the people who actually use it which makes it
Yeah.
harder, right?
Yeah, because there was that, was it a few years ago? There was someone, it was an exchange, I think, that he ran
FTX,
away. Yeah.
FTX 2022. Yes, I had some,
Yes. Yeah.
unfortunately, I was part of it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that
that
I
was, yeah, that was all government thing, and that things, the human element is what
yeah.
makes people wary of it and stuff,
Yeah.
and people
Which
get
is
to
what you're
see
saying Bitcoin doesn't have because it doesn't have that
Bitcoin
human
does.
element.
There's no human element of it, and that can't be broken. So
Yeah.
that's why Bitcoin is, it's going to be the strongest. There's no second best. There can't be it's going to be hard for Bitcoin to be replaced.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Goodness. Yeah. No, it's given me a lot to think about. So if people, I'll put some details in the show notes if anybody wants to find out more. Do you have like a way that they can if they want to reach out to you?
you can just contact me on my business website. So my
Yeah.
website is Pixelgram Digital. So my website is sujit.pixelgram.digital.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put
All
that in
my
the show
details.
notes so
Yes, you
people
can
can
just
find out.
contact me. I'm happy to, it's not I don't make any income from it, but I want to, I'm more into educating people and getting them into it kind of thing. So the
Yeah.
more people get into it, my investments will do better.
Yeah. 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 We get
So, but I can't profit
increase
from
the
something.
demand.
There's no profit in Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin's not catching up because nobody can profit from it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really interesting because, like I said, like there's our constructs are going to need to change and the way we look
Yes.
at things
It'll
too.
change. I
Because
think once the boomers, when the wealth transfer happens,
yeah,
because we have the mindset, it's so we don't have capital.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. I hope everyone you've enjoyed that, and there's a lot in there, and it's a little bit of a mind shift as well to start thinking about this. But it's an important thing to consider too, as far as like the wealth building side of things goes. So thank you again, Sujit, for
So
coming
just
on.
buy Bitcoin small amounts. I would still say, but buy Bitcoin as $100 here, $10 here. Just
Yeah,
keep doing that. Don't look at the price of Bitcoin 108,000 because, like I said, it can be
yeah,
divisible, right?
yeah.
So if you're
Well,
putting money for rainy days,
yeah,
3 years, you will be ahead than
yeah.
most.
Well, like you said, dollar cost averaging. I mean, that's how I invest anyway. Like I don't look, I mean, I know what's happening in the markets because I,
Yeah.
I keep an eye on it, but
Yeah.
that's not what
No,
dictates when I buy.
that's it. Because and
Yeah.
and Bitcoin it's very volatile. That's why the dollar cost averaging will be much more effective.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You
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 can
don't have
spread
to
the
put big
risk.
amounts. Always spread $10 here, $100 here. You
Yeah.
will be ahead. I'm giving you financial advice here. You will be ahead. Right? Only
Well,
Bitcoin, right?
yeah.
As long as you do that,
That's
buy
excellent.
small amounts, you will get ahead.
Yeah. Wonderful. Oh, well, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for listening. And I will catch you next week.
Thank you, Alpha. Speak soon.